Welcome to Metal Detecting Wisconsin. Out here on another cornfield, or looks like it had corn on it. It's a one-room schoolhouse. I think this one closed down in the 1950s. It's on the 1890 plat map, so it's another old one. Got the Equinox 11-inch coil. Just getting a solid 12. Just put the coil to the ground, and I think I got a nickel right off the bat. Looks like a buffalo. Yeah, it's a buffalo nickel. Looks to be some pretty good detail to it. I should be able to get a date off this one, I think. That's a good sign. I'm on the right spot. So we'll get at it and see what we can find. I'm getting a pretty solid 18. I'm just going to show you the numbers and maybe try to do a live dig on this. That's screaming Indian head to me. Let's see if we can live dig it. I cracked my shovel, so my shovel is not going to last much longer, so I'm going to be digging with my lush after this. It's not very deep, so I'm not going to dig down too deep. Yeah, I see a penny. Pretty sure by the number. Yep, look at that. Boy, she's in nice condition. I'm sure we'll get a date on this. Well, I haven't even been here 5 minutes. An Indian and a buffalo right off the bat. That is about as good as it gets for a start. And it's hard to do with one with the glove on here. I'll get some skin on it. We'll show you the date right away. Sorry for the camera work here. I can't quite make it out. 18 something, I think. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think it's 1860, 1860s anyway. That's an old one. Looks to be in pretty decent shape too. There's a, looks like there might be a full Liberty on the headband. The back is really nice. That's awesome. I was getting another solid 12 and I got another nickel. Not sure what this is. Looks pretty toasted, whatever it is. I think I see a V on it on the side. I think it's a V nickel. Yeah, I think there's the V right there. Yep. Liberty head or V nickel, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and there's the Liberty head. Now it's drying out. Let's see the date right there. It says 1905. I don't know if that's focusing in on there. Man, that's an awesome start. Obviously this site's never been hit before. This was coming in as a 25, pretty solid in both directions. I got it out of the hole, and it looks like I have some silver. You can see that. Well, it says 1 dime. Come on, baby, be seated. Oh, I think it's a barber. Looks like 1914. Another solid 12, and I got another nickel. I flipped the dirt out, and I saw the nickel pop over here. Looks like another buffalo. That's what it is. I think this is about the best I've ever done in a field in a short amount of time. I made like 3 passes in the area that I kind of marked off here, and every pass I've found a coin or two. Well, I was getting another 12. I think I got another nickel. Pretty worn out, whatever it is. Well, it's nickel size. I'm not sure what it is. It's pretty worn. I'll give it a couple more rubs and let it dry out and see if we can see anything. This one's really toasted. I'm not sure. We'll see if we can get some kind of detail out of it later. This was coming in 1920. I got myself a coin ball. See the edge of the coin? It's pretty green, so I'm guessing it's an Indian head by the numbers and the color. Oh, it's actually a wheat penny. See the outline of Abraham Lincoln. Guessing it's a pretty old one. The older ones seem to come in closer to an Indian head number. I'll get a date and show it to you later. This was coming in like a 19. Looks like I got some kind of a ring. I'm guessing it's probably copper. It's got a little tiny stone on it. I'm going to say this is copper just by the numbers and the looks of it. Kind of a cool find. It's an old one. This was coming in as a 21. Looks like another ring. Yeah, look at that big old stone on it. Looks like it's kind of cracked and smashed a little bit. Not going to mess with it too much in case it's something. Some of these old rings can be valuable if they're like a, you know, have a represent like a cartoon or something like that. So that's kind of cool. Might be something in that glass, a picture of something. This was jumping around in the mid-20s. Thought maybe it was going to be iron. I dug it anyway and saw a star. It was like it might be made out of lead or maybe cast iron. Kind of different. It's got some kind of attachment. Looks like there's some kind of attachment on the back. So might have been part of a horse harness or something like that for decoration. Well, I was getting another pretty solid 12, and I have another nickel. I think it's a buffalo. Yep. This is a wrap-up of the hunt. It's all the trash I found. Had a few big chunks of iron in there. I was digging some iffy signals just because I was finding so many good targets there, and these were some deeper iron type signals that I thought were close enough to maybe be something good, so I was digging them, but it was turning out to be iron, most of them anyway. One chunk of iron, I think about one of these that are about this size, was actually, there was a nickel right pretty much on top of that piece, and it was reading the nickel with the Equinox. So that machine's very good at picking up a good target next to iron. My shovel did take a crap and broke in half. Now some of you might be wondering why I use such a cheap shovel. These shovels, what I like about them is they're light, and they last me probably 2 to 3 seasons most of the time before they actually end up breaking. And I don't like to carry a heavy shovel around with me in my hand, so I like the D handle on there and the shortness of the shovel. What I do is on my pouch, my belt with all my pouches and stuff on it, I have this modified hook that I have on there. I just hook the D handled shovel on there. It hangs on the side of my leg, and I don't have to carry it around. I have enough problems with my shoulders and hands and elbows and everything else with arthritis and soreness, so the less I have to carry, the better off. And so that's why I use the cheaper shovel. It does the job for me. So here's the good stuff. You just saw photos of most of the stuff with the dates, so I'm not going to go through all the dates. I did want to just mention that Barber dime is in really nice condition. I'd say it's extra fine. It's got a full Liberty. The 1867 Indian head penny too is in really nice condition for being in the ground. I would probably say that's fine to extra fine. It's got a full Liberty on the headband of the Indian's head. I did get the 2 rings straightened out, as you can see, and I did find a spoon, which I didn't have on film, and then a couple little whatsits. I'm thinking this one right here with the gold gilding on it was probably part of a watch winder. That's what I'm thinking it was. And a couple other button and a couple other things. I'm not sure what they are. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully I'll have a few more videos out soon. As far as the decision to go out after the governor said a stay-at-home order, he did put some things in the order that have to do with outdoor activities that you can participate in, and they were walking and going hiking, going to state parks. They lifted all the fees for the state parks. So he had on that part of that not limited to these examples of activities. So that tells me that there are other outdoor activities that you can be doing as long as you're isolating yourself and keeping your distance. And I can't think of a better way to do that than be out in the middle of a field or out in the middle of the woods metal detecting. So if you have any opinions on that, like I said in the last video, let me know. I take any type of criticism or any type of positive reinforcement. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, and until next time,